T slaying.
Well, family, the wait is over. The moment has arrived where truth emerges triumphant from the shadows of history. Introducing the True Jerusalem, the lost kingdoms of the Israelites, the groundbreaking work by me, Jacoby Vale, a journey into the past that reshapes the future. I cut through centuries of misconceptions with piercing clarity. This book delivers a compelling case packed with evidence that commands attention and gonna get some respect. Come with me for a second, family, and discover how these thrilling civilizations flourished, protected by towering highlands and sustained by advanced engineering. Some have asked, where is Jerusalem? Is it the land in the Middle East? I say no. It is in the highlands of Ethiopia. With hours of groundbreaking research, this book brings in a new revelation, and it will transform your understanding of African history and its connections to the ancient world. It's going to remove from your mind the conditioning by the Romans of what has really happened to our past. Come with me, family, to the Ethiopian highlands and find out why this is our land. Why things have been hidden and obfuscated for centuries. We are royalty, children of the Most High. What kind of land do you expect us to have? Dried up dirt in the Middle East, or land flowing with rivers? A land full of beautiful animals flowing with milk and honey. Don't miss out on this monumental unveiling. Grab your copy today and stand on the side of truth. Visit Amazon.com or www.tailministries.com to purchase your book and join Jacoby Vale's teachings on Tail Ministries. Family, your journey to hidden history has now begun. So family, get your copy of True Jerusalem, the Lost Kingdoms of the Israelites today. Journey to the heart of Africa, where history and legend converge to reveal the forgotten kingdoms of the Israelites and the true location of Jerusalem. Salama, family. Salama, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly, highly favored. So, fam, give me a 1 if I sound good. Give me a 2 if not. Make sure I sound okay. All right. So here's the thing. If you didn't get your copy, go over to Amazon and get True Jerusalem, Lost Kingdoms of the Israelites. So far, I have very good reviews. And if you haven't, gone over there, if you, assuming you finished, if you finished the book and you think it's worth a review, give me a review. So far, it's been pretty good. So as a note, just to let you know, okay, there's somebody else that y'all know who's working on the book. Now, one of the things I want to emphasize here is that one of the reasons we have, hard copy and soft copy is because there's a time coming you're not going to be able to get on the internet, right, and get a digital copy. You're going to have a digital ID, and so it's best to have a hard copy. Now, for the person who's working on a book as well, and hopefully it'll be done in the next month or two, is Minister Tayyu. Now, I'm going to say this. Minister Teu book is like highly, very highly important. Why? So the title of his book is They Always Knew We Were the Israelites. Historians' Belief in the Black Ancestry of the Biblical Jew. So his book is mostly a history book. Oh my goodness. The stuff you gonna learn. Oh my goodness. They always knew who we were. We know that, right? But oh my goodness. You're gonna find out our connection between everybody and what went down, how they treated us, what they stole from us, all kind of stuff. I'm like, them folks, I'm telling you, them folks ain't nothing nice. So when his book come out, you're going to want it. I'm telling you, you're going to want it. You're going to want your kids to read it. You're going to want to hand it off to people. You definitely, I'm telling you, whole bunch of information in there that just makes everything we've been teaching come alive. And you're going to learn that, hey, ain't no doubt who we are. I don't care who it is. Look, there's no wiggle room. I mean, literally, there's no wiggle room for them. They can't, look, they know who we are anyway, but ain't no wiggle room. That's all I got to say. All right. So today I am going to talk about all this stuff. Now, Sister E was talking about this last night. I wasn't able to make it on her show. So we're going to talk about this. And now understand that I'm going to talk about these things from, let's say, my viewpoint, right? Eat the meat, spit out the bones. Y'all know how your Cobra like to do, right? And understand that what we're dealing with here, we are in, let me just say this. We're in the end times, family. Don't y'all know that? Don't y'all know we're in the end time? Oh, the Most High come and get us, I'm telling you. The Most High coming to get us, I'm telling you. We about to go home. That's my opinion. I told y'all it's my opinion. I ain't setting no dates. I ain't putting no times. I'm just saying that the Most High coming to get us. That's my belief. I mean, from what I'm seeing from the scriptures, we's about to go home. Now, I'm going to say this as well. It may not be the way you expect, right? Some of y'all have a certain understanding of the scriptures, and you make up your own conclusion instead of letting the Bible speak to you about that. And so y'all can be like, well, you know, I ain't going nowhere, blah, 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 blah. You know how we hear all that, right? I'm going to tell you this. What I'm seeing, some conspiracies.
And I'll tell you the next step, it's a little difficult to hear, but the next step, because they need to keep building up the fear of these UAPs, next step is really for the UAPs to start shooting down our commercial airliners and our military jets from the skies. And that, I believe, is going to be happening very, very soon.
Do y'all remember him? He's a retired FBI agent. And he said this stuff was going to happen, and it's right on time, right? Man, I tell you, this stuff, I mean, I feel like I'm living in a comic book. Don't you feel that way, fam? I'm like, I feel like I'm living in a comic book. And then not only do I feel like I'm living in a comic book, they think mama didn't raise some fools. Now I'm going to tell you this as well, right? These folks, they all working together. They all plotting and conniving. And when I say all, I mean all of the institutions, right? From the governments of the world to the religions of the world. I'm going to tell you this. Every single religion has been infiltrated, every one of them. Every institution has been infiltrated, every single one of them. The Hebrew Israelites have been infiltrated. Now, what is the commonality in all of these infiltrations? Freemasonry. Freemasonries in the churches. Freemasonries in the governments. Freemasonries in your homes. Some of y'all family members are Boule. Some of your family members, they may not understand what they're in, but, they Divine Nine. Every level has been infiltrated, which is why certain things are starting to make sense to me. What's making sense, Yakoba? What's starting to make sense to me is why we have so many doctrinal differences. Why some people say that Cornelius was an Israelite, but we know the Bible's clear that he was a Gentile. Why some people follow Mormonism. Why some people say that Native American Indians are us. Why some people say Mexicans are us. Don't make no sense, right? But they all on code. Why? Because they Freemasons. Every religion has been infiltrated. That's why they saying things like, hey, there was no slave trade. That's why they saying this is our homeland. That's why they saying this is the land of Israel. This is the promised land, right? Why? Because it's all infiltrated by Freemasons. From black folks to white folks to yellow folks to red folks, you name it. Indians, Mexicans, Chinese, Hispanic, all across, they all infiltrated. And guess what? You want to prove it? Just go ahead and look around. How many of these Freemasons you have sitting in the churches? Come on, y'all know. I need past the Freemasons. How many Freemasons in Islam? Farrakhan's a Freemason. How many Freemasons you have in the Israelite community? They're not going to really tell you, but you can look at their symbolism. How many Freemasons pretending to be pastors and pretending to be Morays and pretending to be Israelites and teaching false doctrine, teaching stuff that don't make no sense because they still on code? I'm going to tell you this. These be some interesting times. I'm telling you that. Interesting. That's all I got to say. Interesting times. Now, the Bible says only a remnant going to be saved. That's sort of scary, right? You can't do nothing about it. All you can do is pray for people, teach the truth, and hopefully they have that relationship with the Most High and obey His laws, statutes, and commandments, and stop lying and telling half-truths. Like Native American Indians are us, that the Mexicans are us, the Hispanics are us, unless they Afro. I'm just saying. Some of y'all don't like me saying that, but it's true. You ain't got no evidence for it, which is why they can't defend themselves. They just throw out ad hominem attacks and red herrings and stuff like that, right? Straw men.
It has the members of the FBI now certainly looking into this. It's happening in the UK as well. Just a short time ago, right before our show started, I spoke to Christopher Sharp, who is in the United Kingdom, about what is happening here. He's a fantastic journalist, and I want to play that interview for you right now. Well, the FBI is now investigating UFOs over multiple military bases. And in fact, these same UFOs are now being spotted over FBI agents' homes. And it's
all right. So these UFOs are being spotted over FBI agents' homes. Now, the guy that I showed you in the beginning was a former retired FBI agent. And he said these things were going to happen. So obviously they're involved in this. And he told you that it was coming, and he said it was coming soon. If y'all saw some of the older shows that I did with that particular FBI agent. We living in the times that the Bible spoke of, and most people still playing games.
It's all happening right now in the United States and the United Kingdom. Why? Watch this.
Well, Will, one of the ships was in fact inspected by the Coast Guard, and they couldn't find anything. The thing is that there were several other suspicious ships in the region that they never got to. And Will, it gets worse. Just a couple of months earlier, there were several mystery drone flights over our nuclear testing range in Nevada, just north of Las Vegas. And again, nothing was done. And it gets even worse. some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their homes as if to say, hey, we know where you are.
So what the heck is going on here? Let's ask excellent journalist Christopher Sharp, who covers these UFOs and UAP stories on his website, Liberation Times. He also writes at the Daily Mail as well. Christopher, great to see you. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
So I got another clip for him. I don't want to go through the whole thing, and I'm gonna share just a small 1-minute clip with that particular guy, because what we're dealing with here is a global, apparently, at least they're making it seem like it's a global event, right? So let's look at this. It's going to be short.
Any of them down. So you're telling me that, according to your sources at the Ministry of Defense, that this is considered a national emergency in England right now?
So I have a variety of sources. All I can say is that I can only speak insofar as my opinion, but I have a very strong opinion that this does constitute a national emergency, correct? There have also been sightings as well at another RAF base, which is operated by the US Air Force, named RAF Fairford. That's in Gloucestershire, so that's more to the west of England, but a different geographic location. But yeah, this is a crazy situation we find ourselves in. One of the bases that's been most impacted is RAF Lakenheath. Interestingly, RAF Lakenheath has been prepared to receive nuclear weapons from the USA, and the rumor is that those may now be deployed at the base, which, if true, it makes the situation even more concerning.
All right, so we're in that time that the Bible spoke of a lot of lying signs and wonders and deceptions. And we got to understand that these people, you know, they have an agenda to spin a particular narrative, right? And so you see this all over social media, and obviously something is happening. Now the question is, what is happening? That's the question, right? What are these things? Are they drones? Because that's what they're telling us, right? They're telling us that they're drones. Now, I believe that they could be. Some may be drones, right? I think there's many things going on. And like I said, for you all to eat the meat and spit out the bones, I'm just going to share some of my guesses, because I believe it is a complex dialectic, right? Look, the obvious thing is that it's drones, right? The second obvious thing is that it's Project Bluebeam, right? The third obvious thing to most people would be that they're aliens, right? And the fourth obvious thing is that they're fallen angels, which, you know, most of us believe, right? So let's look at it.
So this was spotted coming out of the sea in Antarctica. That looks mad. I really do wish we had a longer clip though. What do you guys reckon? Do you reckon that's real? It's not like I'm an expert on these things or anything, but when I played it back in its slowest frame rate, I didn't see any inconsistencies. Could possibly be real. But one thing I know that's a fact, the amount of these that are floating about lately, some of them have to be real. They can't all be fake. And it sparks the question, why is it now they're so openly allowed to be on social media? There's no one trying to classify them and filter them out. It's almost like they want you to see these things. In fact, anything I've posted recently relating to aliens and UFOs, it's...
So y'all remember during the lollipop times that we couldn't post and say things about the lollipop, right? How they said fake news, right? And they're concerned about fake news. Well, how come they're not controlling this, right? How come they're not saying this is fake news, right? It's an agenda. And just as the FBI agent stated, he said these things were going to happen and they were going to happen very soon. Now, the obvious thing is this, right? Is fake alien invasion incoming, right? That is the obvious thing, I think. is more complex than that. Why? Because it's easy for us to dismiss, sort of like what happened during the time of the lollipop. You had a group of people who said it's not real, that the lollipop is fake, right? Well, not the lollipop, but, you know, the particular issue that was going on, right, during the time, the pandemic. That some people were saying that, but then come to find out, people really were being deleted, right? People really weren't here anymore. And, you know, I got to sort of talk in code. Y'all got to read between the lines, right? And I think that's what's going to happen here, that some people going to say it's fake. Some people going to say it's real. And then we're going to find out that it's somewhere in between. And what's the purpose? You know, I'm going to tell you what I think is going on, you know. But, you know, I keep telling y'all I'm a conspiracy theorist. So, you know, eat the meat, spit out the bones. But I'm just sharing with y'all. Y'all know how I do. I share what I think. You ain't got to agree with me. But I think we are in those times, family. And I think 2025, especially January 20th, after January 20th, we're going to see a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
it looked weird. And I wish I took a picture of it, but I was just kind of like, what is this? It was flying right over this church here, and it continued over the train station. It was going pretty slow. It had 3 blinking lights, red and green, and then it had 1 steady light right in the middle. And I could clearly see it.
That's not a plane.
Mike Walsh saw it too. In fact, he's seen it almost every night since mid-November.
They kind of sound like a helicopter, depending on how big they are is how loud they are. There's red and green lights on either side of them. They kind of move, not like a plane. The bigger ones do.
But he hasn't gotten much explanation. Are you concerned?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's a bit unsettling.
This is a video of the Morris County drones.
Spotters have taken to social media to share videos of the drones. No one seems.
all right. So everybody's saying it's a drone, at least the main media, right? It's a drone. 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 But guess what? What have they been preparing us for the last 2-3 years, right? They've been telling us aliens exist. They've been having congressional testimonies that aliens exist, that they have craft and they have alien bodies. Y'all remember that, right? Give me a yes or no if you remember that. They've been preparing us to believe that aliens exist, but now everything in the sky is a drone. Now, I'm not saying it's not a drone. Personally, I think they are drones, but I think there's more to this, right? It's a complex dialectic. Look, never deal with these people on a linear matter, right? Never deal with them on a linear. Everything they do is abstract. Everything they do has multiple endpoints and starting points and goals and avenues of how they want to accomplish a particular thing. So never go with the obvious, right? And never say, well, I know it's all fake, right? I think it's fake, but I think there's more to it. And I'm going to get to it. I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that, right? So I told you, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I've been following these guys for, you know, let's say the whole alien agenda and UFOs and for a long time. And one of the things that's interesting is that they're talking about these craft being over military bases and over nuclear power plants and all these type of things, which is the story that they've told for over 20, 30 years, that these craft will come and disable missiles. Right. And so now we're hearing these things again. Why? Because all of this is going to come full circle to a World War III nuclear war situation. And then we're all going to have to give our allegiance. That's what they want, right? They want us to give our allegiance to a global authority. Now, my theory is this, right? And we, you know, like I said, eat the meat, spit out the bones. We're just talking here. I'm sharing with you thoughts in my head, right? My theory is that this could be a shared government. And when I say a shared government, global government, by humans and what we would call angels, which, you know, fallen angels, not aliens, but, you know, that's my theory, that We're being set up for this complex dialectic that we're going to say, okay, well, that's fake. That's drones. But then they're going to say, no, it's real. And they're going to keep you off balance. See, that's how they do, right? They keep you off balance because you don't know what's true. It's sort of like what to eat. What can I eat today? Everything poison, right? What's good? Some people say eggs is good. Some people say eggs is bad. Some people say you should eat dairy. Some people say don't eat dairy, right? You don't know what's true. They keep you off balance. And that's what I think is going on, that they're keeping us all balanced. But in the end, both are going to be true to an extent. Both are going to be true to an extent. It's my theory. Okay, I could be wrong.
Last night, starting around 8 o'clock, we started receiving multiple calls from residents about drone activity in the area. Officers went out to investigate. The calls and the sightings continued from 8 o'clock to about 11:15 last night, when then the drone activity moved away from us into Cherry Hill. We had varying reports of anywhere between 4 to 8 drones that were flying through the area. They weren't like the normal, drone that somebody would purchase and use in their home. They were large. Some were described as large as like an SUV, had blinking lights on them. At this time, we're still investigating. We have no information of who the drones belong to, what their purpose was. We are looking at possible connections to northern New Jersey that's experiencing the same type of incidents. But we do ask anyone with information about who's operating these drones, the identity of the drones. They seem to be larger than the hobbyist, and due to the number of them as well would classify as most likely not a hobbyist that's out doing these. We're working with I know Mount Laurel received complaints last night, Cherry Hill received complaints last night, and Medford Township received complaints last night. From what I understand, no complaints and sightings occurred as far as Ocean County.
Can y'all repeat after me, family? Hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. I'm just saying. Ain't no 400-year prophecy. Y'all remember all the heat, all the fussing, all the, oh yeah, what they talking about, blah, 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 blah. Hell don't know what they talking about, blah. Y'all waking up now? I'm just asking. All the haters, all the detractors, y'all waking up now or you still asleep? I think they still sleep. Oh
my God, here we go. Here it is. Are you freaking kidding me right now? What is that?
Now the question is, how come these drones are allowed to just fly in our airspace? Could they not be Russian and Chinese weapons? Should they not be sending F-15 and F-16s to chase them down? How come they have free reign? I'm just asking. I don't know. Don't make no sense. Sounds like a conspiracy to me. Somebody got plans to deceive even the very elect. That's the plans. But those who are in Yeshua, those who are born again, right? They're not going to be deceived. But I'm telling you, everybody's going to think it's government. Everybody's going to think it's drones. And guess what? The dialectic is that they were both. The dialectic is that one of them ships or some of them ships have some different type of species controlling it. I'm just saying, because in the end, what do you gain by having just a drone? What do you gain by having these ships in the sky the whole time? And we just find out, oh, it's just another government, TR-3B. Or it's an unknown NATO aircraft or unknown U.S. aircraft. What do you gain by that? But what you gain is if there's some other living entity there, is a strong delusion, right?
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has released a statement in response to the mysterious drone sightings all across the Garden State. Governor Phil Murphy reiterated that there is no threat to the public at this time.
Oh, thank God. I feel so much better now.
From recent drone sightings over New Jersey. Dozens of drones have been reported hovering over the state since before Thanksgiving, mostly in northern areas about Route 78. The Democrat said in a briefing that he held Wednesday with Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, senior officials from federal and state Homeland Security and state police. We were actively monitoring the situation and in close coordination with our federal and law enforcement partners on this matter. There's another quote that says, while we currently have no evidence or information to indicate these drones pose an imminent threat at this time, their presence appears nefarious in nature. That was Florham Park Police Chief Joseph Orlando.
Well, did you hear what happened in Branchburg? It says fire officials in Branchburg canceled a landing at Raritan Valley Community College after a crash within the township on November 26th because of the drones. So they want to land a helicopter.
Okay.
Because there was a car crash, right?
Yeah.
But they couldn't bring the helicopter to land because the drones were in the area.
So when I read it, says it's military drone testing. Look at the facts. It's always at night during the winter. They are flying with lights on, easily visible, aren't trying to hide. They are always in the same area, flying slow and information.
I agree with this, but why can't they just inform the FBI, being like, it's us?
Wow, Reddit is on the nose with someone else responded. It's military drone testing, either that or it's a publicity stunt. That's what I think.
Why couldn't the military tell the FBI they're doing this then? Tell everyone to calm down. That's why I don't believe that.
I think we're going to have a major alien summer blockbuster come out next summer. And all around the country, you're going to start hearing of drone sightings over major metropolitan areas.
I don't think they would scare the public, though, like that. Like, the government would not allow that.
Yeah, well, who knows if you have to get permission? You're flying a drone.
No, because now you have the FBI saying they're investigating this. The FAA is not saying anything. Dude, they can't scare the public like that.
You're right. Well, yeah, they can. The FBI would just say, what are they going to say? Stop. These drones are flying within 25 miles of Manhattan. And if you think the FAA doesn't have every square inch of airspace within 25 miles of Newark, JFK, LaGuardia, Teterboro, and then all the helicopter pads in Manhattan and New Jersey, you're out of your mind. They know what everything is.
Well, that's the thing. These drones are not on their radar. They have radar blockers. That's why they're confused too.
Everybody knows something's going on. Obviously this is a agenda, right? I mean, because here's the thing. Aren't they supposed to be protecting us from fake news? I'm just saying. We're supposed to be protected from fake news. How come this is still getting so much visibility?
Supposedly, this is a picture of one of the car-sized drones flying around New Jersey right now. What is that? That looks like a tail. What are these? I mean, it's a drone. Where are the rotors? Where's the battery pack? Where's the propulsion system? Because I don't see any of that here. I mean, come on, they're drones, really? And it's not just New Jersey. They're being seen all over the U.S., and I wouldn't be surprised if they're being seen all over the world. And it's the size of a car? What civilian or military drone looks like that? I mean, they're not trying to hide. They're flying low. I mean, what are these things? But they're saying, oh, there's nothing to worry about. We're investigating it. You know, we're on it, but don't worry. They're just drones. Really?
So why are they flying low? Why are these drones flying so low? Because they want to be seen, right? They want to be seen, obviously. It's called disclosure.
Hey, I just wanted to make this quick video to say, as someone who's living in North Jersey, specifically Morris County, the only place where this seems to be happening, there are drones in the sky. They specifically only come out at night. They're the size of like really small cars, like maybe like a quarter of the size of helicopters, and nobody knows why they're here. We've been told that the drones don't mean us any harm. Like that was like the language that was used, but the FBI are investigating the situation. So I just thought it would be important to talk about so that people outside of this very small county could know what the fuck is going on. There are dozens of them, and they fly around every single night. Like, it's so hard to get a picture of these things because, like, they're painted like this black gray. If anyone can shed light, let us know.
So, obviously, people seeing things, and we know that Dante did a video showing what he saw, right? And they were like fireballs, what Dante saw, which is sort of different from what we're seeing in these videos, right? But a lot of people are seeing things. So my question to you, fam, everybody in the chat, give me a 1 if you've seen something strange in the skies lately. Give me a 2 if you haven't, especially you all in New York. If you're in New York, give me a 1 with an NY next to it. I'm just curious, you know, what you all are seeing. I don't go outside too much, so I don't see too much. So Brother God said he put a video on Facebook. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a look at that. Okay, I see mostly 2s. I see a few 1s. Okay, Virginia, Georgia, England. No, wait, you got a 2 on England. I mean, you didn't see anything in England, right? All right. Okay. Los Angeles. 1. Okay. Los Angeles, Philly, California. So y'all, a few of you all are seeing stuff. Interesting. Now, I guess my question is, look like it's mostly on the East Coast. Anybody in the South seeing these things? If you all give me a 1 and say, hey, like Louisiana or Texas or something like that. If you've seen anything in the South. We got a few 2s, a few 1s. Okay, someone said they saw something in Florida, South Carolina. Interesting. Dallas specifically at nighttime. I'm in the DFW. Alabama too. Okay. This is interesting. Very interesting.
Think Alien Invasion Day came and went? Think again. There are currently, tonight, swarms of hundreds of drone-like UAPs over sensitive military sites in the UK and the US. And as of about 3 hours ago, there are about 100 of them over Staten Island in New York City. Local news, hundreds of reports, hundreds of videos, nothing we could do about it. These are UFOs, not UAPs. And if you're quick to pass it off with a low IQ take that, oh, well, it's just our stuff, then you need to explain, not us. You need to explain why there are transmissions coming in now from pilots, military pilots, deployed to go intercept these things to no avail, referring to them as UFOs and UAPs. Onus is on you, the skeptic.
So obviously, like I was saying, there's an agenda, right? And they're allowing this information to be released. No censorship, right? It makes no sense, right? So as I mentioned in one of my old shows, I mentioned about Alice Bailey and the externalization of the hierarchy, right? It could be that, right? Here's the thing. Like I was saying, I don't think it could be as simple as just a drone or even Project Bluebeam, because guess what? Let's assume it's Project Bluebeam and they got fake drones and all these things and they have a fake battle in the sky. Well, what's that going to lead to? What is that going to lead to? Unless you see, a half human, half crocodile man or something, most people not going to believe it. And even if they see a half human, half crocodile man, they're going to have to, do some tests. They're going to have to touch it. They're going to have to see it face to face before they fall for it. I mean, that's just most people. Why? Because we have AI. Everything is fake, right? And here's the thing. That drone that we just saw, that drone is obviously controlled, in my opinion now, is obviously controlled by AI. So that's why you could have swarms and swarms of these ships, which are the size of, most people say an SUV or some type of car, right? It's controlled by AI. And so now we have all of this stuff at the exposure time, right, of this new technology of AI, right? I think I'm not sure if I showed this. I'm gonna show it again if I did. Let's see. I don't think, did I show this? No, it's new. All right, let's do this.
This is wild. All the roads are blocked off. Drone. We're supposed to be on lockdown. There might be a maniac running around here. Cop at the end of the driveway. All their lights are off and they're just looking at the drone. They're trying to find somebody. Crazy.
Now, did y'all see my video dealing with Elon Musk and my video dealing with who potentially could be the Antichrist? Because I don't know. I'm speculating. Once again, I always speculate on these things because you're not going to know till it happened. But it's really interesting that all of this stuff is happening during the time that Donald Trump got reelected. I'm just saying. I'm not like the Democrats and I'm just a Trump hater, right? I'm just saying that it's suspect. It's interesting at the same time, but it's suspect. All over the place. All over. They're seeing these things everywhere. Now, what we got to do is figure out what's going on, right? And so here's the thing. Some people don't want you to believe that we're in the end times. Some people want you to think the mark of the beast occurred already. Some people want you to believe that this is our land, so you don't be looking to leave. Why all these Western nations having all of these visitations or deceptions, whatever you want to call it? Why the Western nations are losing their populations and now they need immigrants, but they're trying to get rid of immigrants? I'm just saying. It's a confusing scenario, but I think I know what's happening. And it's not linear. That's what I keep telling you. What's happening is not linear. So if you think it's all drones, you're wrong. If you think it's aliens, you're wrong. If you think it's fallen angels, you're wrong. Why? Because I think it's all of the above. I think it is a complex dialectic.
Pentagon and other parts of the government are finally starting to come out and talk about this whole drone UAP UFO incursions that are happening in New Jersey specifically, but all across the country and the world. They came out yesterday, the spokesperson for the Pentagon, and did a presser, which raised a lot more questions than it did answer. And the guy said a bunch of things that I thought were pretty odd. So one of them, he said, basically they're devising a plan. It's like, really, you're the Pentagon. Like, don't y'all game plan and run, simulations for basically every scenario you can imagine? But all of a sudden, these drone incursions are something that y'all never planned for. You don't have any sort of anything like ready to go. Like they're caught flat-footed. They're like starting to devise a plan now. It's like, this has been going on for months. This is crazy. But he said one of the parts of their plan was that they're going to consult with subject matter experts. And the way he said it was really bizarre, because you're the Pentagon, right? They have hundreds of thousands of employees and they have like specialists in nearly every field imaginable. But he said they're going to consult with subject matter experts. That makes me think they're going to start talking to like the me's of the world, right? Like not me specifically, but like people that are civilians, meaning like people that are, experts in consciousness, spirituality, maybe even UAP and UFO experiencers and that kind of stuff, to shine some light on what's happening, because I think they're tapped out. I don't think they and their specialists can really wrap their heads around exactly what they're experiencing and dealing with here. So they're going to start pulling in subject matter experts. And then separately, Nancy Mace, one of our congresswomen, she's good. She was in a skiff today, closed door, like classified meeting, and said that one of the things that Arrow was telling her was that there are certain shapes that they've identified that are recurring that they can't explain. So basically, Arrow is who surveys all of the different UAP and UFO encounters and sightings, that kind of stuff, and catalogs everything and investigates it. And they said that there's a lot of shapes that they have cataloged. They've investigated all of them, and most of them, there's an explanation behind. But there's certain shapes. She kept saying certain shapes. She said that this is all classified, but so she can't tell us, which is whatever. But that there's certain shapes that she can't tell us what the shapes are, but that they're very concerned about because these shapes are recurring, meaning they keep having experiences and encounters and sightings of these specific shapes that through all of their rigorous investigation and high-level imagery and analytics and everything, they cannot figure out what these are. They're completely unexplained, and evidently it's recurring, and evidently it's part of this whole drone thing that's going on now. So there's a big part of this that's unexplained. The highest levels of the government, Pentagon, classified, meetings are happening around the clock, people getting together and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So for everyone out there that just tells you this is a drone or this is a plane, it's not. Or you can just look at the behavior of the government. They're perplexed. They don't really know what to do. I think that's...
They're not perplexed. No, they're not perplexed. They're having a relationship with these beings. Now, let's look at what Nancy Mace said, because he just mentioned her, right? Let's pay attention.
Witnesses have now reported seeing large-size UFOs or drones, you can call them whatever you like, hovering for hours, not minutes, over parts of the United States, from Arizona to New Jersey to North Carolina, all across the United States. Many reports that these are hovering over military installations as well. And now we know that the FBI is actively investigating these UFOs. In fact, we just got word that these UFOs are now hovering over federal agents' homes. Listen.
Well, Will, one of the ships was in fact inspected by the Coast Guard, and they couldn't find anything. The thing is that there were several other suspicious ships in the region that they never got to. And Will, it gets worse. Just a couple of months earlier, there were several mystery drone flights over our nuclear testing range in Nevada, just north of Las Vegas. And again, nothing was done. And it gets even worse. Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their homes as if to say, hey, we know where you are.
Well, we wanted to bring in Representative Nancy Mace, who's been outspoken on this issue. She sits on a number of committees in the House of Representatives, the Committee on Oversight and Accountability, Committee on Armed Services, and the Committee on Veterans Affairs. And we wanted to welcome the Congresswoman on the show today. Nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So given the fact that we've seen a number of these large-scale incursions over the past few weeks, this is alarming, and now we're seeing it in the United Kingdom as well. Do you think the Pentagon, do you think the Biden administration is taking this seriously enough when we now got reports of these things hovering over federal agents' homes? What are you hearing, and what do you want the government to be doing about this?
Well, number one, regardless of the origin of these devices, this technology, these drones, whatever they are, this is a national security issue. And I can tell you, number one, Congress has not been briefed on it. So if the Pentagon or one of the three-letter agencies of the White House is observing these, is investigating them, we are not aware of any of that because we haven't been briefed on it. And when you look at the sites where some of these things are hovering, you really have to question their motive, why they're there, and how big of a national security threat is it, and then who is it? Why haven't they been shot down? Why don't we have these devices in our possession? Maybe we do, but it sure would be nice to know, and I sit on the House Armed Services Committee, it sure would be nice to know that we are watching our back and that we are protecting our nuclear sites, our military sites, government sites, etc.
And I haven't heard any reports of these being shot down. No eyewitness reports that I've heard from any of our sources. And the same thing in the United Kingdom. We do have video in the United Kingdom of apparently a helicopter incursion with these drones, and they're mimicking the helicopter. I mean, zipping up where the helicopter is trying to take evasive action, they're following and zipping right in the same pattern. If they are from Russia, if they are from China, then where's the mothership? How are large-scale drones just hovering over the United States? They have to return to something. It's shocking to me that you guys haven't been briefed on this. It's alarming.
And who would ever allow this? Like, if it's one of our adversaries, to hell with it. We absolutely should shoot it down. We should know what kind of technology they're using. We should know what kind of data they're collecting on us and our allies. What are we doing about it? And it looks like nothing, just like the Chinese spy balloon. It was allowed to go all over these military and nuclear sites across the country. Finally got shot down off the coast of my home state after it traversed the entire United States, west coast to east coast. And, how can we be taken seriously if we aren't taking our adversaries seriously, if that's what this is?
I mean, my mind also, I always look out for false flags. It's something we cover here on the show to make the American people aware of, trying to deceive us, trick us into believing one thing, that there's a large scale alien invasion right now happening before President Trump takes office to try to bring us all together around martial law or something else. I know that's a big leap, but do you worry about that type of agenda before President Trump takes office on January 20th?
When you look at the PSYOP, basically, that's been done on the American people regarding Trump and the lawfare, nothing would surprise me anymore. These are people that have lied to our face, lied to the faces of every single American, day in and day out, 24/7, 365 days a year. Nothing surprises me anymore.
All right, so everyone is looking at this thing side-eye, right? Everyone's like, okay, this looks like a PSYOP, right? So how does the establishment get people to go along with this agenda if everyone is saying, hey, this whole thing is suspicious, right? How do you do that? So that's why I'm saying it's really a complex dialectic that's happening, because it's going to look like it's a PSYOP. It's going to look like Project Bluebeam. It's going to look like a TR-3B government vehicle, but then you're going to end up finding out there's some creature in there, right? Some half human, half animal, whatever, right? Type of creature in there, or some angelic creature. We don't know. Because to me, this is the only way you're going to get everyone to believe it, right? You have to have that being come off the craft. That's just my opinion. Like I say, eat the meat, spit out the bones, but everyone is sort of, looking at this thing and asking questions.
Now, why do I say drone-like craft? Well, I only say that because intelligence community sources have been in my ear for some time, assuring me that these are not aliens, they're not unidentified anomalous phenomena. They are reportedly, according to intelligence insiders, known foreign adversarial drones. They must be highly advanced drones based on what I'm hearing, but the claim is that they are foreign adversarial nation drones. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't necessarily believe everything I'm told by members of the intelligence community, and I think we're entitled to be skeptical in this case. Not least because we know from intercepted military communications before they were digitized and encrypted, when they realized their comms were being monitored, some of the clever skywatchers around RAF bases in the United Kingdom picked up on the fact that at least one pilot was referring to UAPs, not drones. So if the pilots themselves that are being sent up to intercept these objects perceive them as unidentified anomalous phenomena, not drones, what aren't we being told?
Now, the thing that I find interesting is that this sort of reminds me of the whole crypto thing. Remember when, Bitcoin and everything was coming out, and, people like Jamie Dimon was saying, that's just a con. Don't invest in crypto. You're going to lose your money, blah, 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 blah. And all of these people who are, multimillionaires, if not billionaires, I don't know, telling you not to buy crypto, but now they're telling you to buy crypto, right? So sort of like this guy, right? It's a drone, and they're going to tell you it's a drone. Ain't nothing to worry about it. It could be Russia, it could be China, blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing. If it was Russia and if it was China, would you not send up F-15s to go and confront it? You're going to let them just fly all over your airspace, really? I mean, come on, let's use logic sense. Let's use our cabeza. Let's ask the right questions. if they're drones and they're from Russia and they're from China or somebody else, why are you letting them fly uncontested? See, they're playing games, so you have to ask the right questions. And this is what our people don't do a lot of times, is ask the right questions. But what we're dealing with here is a complex psyop, which is, according to the scriptures, a lot of people are going to fall for it. So if a lot of people are going to fall for the deception, how? I mean, because, okay, we see a bunch of pretty lights in the sky. We see some vehicles in the sky. Okay, all right. So you say they're aliens, you say they're not. But at the same time, remember, several months ago, they kept conditioning us through congressional hearings now that aliens exist and they have alien bodies and they have, alien craft that they reversed engineered. They've been conditioning us now. Now, all of a sudden, all it is drones. Does that even make sense? So they're preparing you to receive aliens and to understand that we got this technology from them, because I guarantee you they're going to say, well, the reason we got AI is because we got them from our friendly brothers from Zeta Reticuli. Y'all know it.
This one's crazy. Out of all the UFO footage I've seen, I've never seen something that looks like this. Look at that. It looks like one of those deep sea jellyfish with the lights in. What on earth are we looking at? I'm sure if it was AI. It's AI.
It could be AI. But even if it's AI, if it's Project Bluebeam, if it's our technology, what do you get from that? How do you get people to give up their rights and go ahead and give all of their power to a United Nations, right? Because that's the goal. How many of you all, give me a 1 if you have, or 2 if you haven't. How many of you all have read the protocols? I'm not going to say the learned, people, you know what I'm saying, of a place over there in the Middle East. How many of you all, give me a 1 if you read the protocols, give me a 2 if you haven't. Now, we have videos on that. They're old. They're like, 3-4 years old, I guess. Give me a 1 if you read the protocols, 2 if you haven't. Because we're at the end of the protocols. And the protocol said they were going to corrupt society, right? They were going to destroy this nation, right, in the protocols. And they're going to make it where it is so difficult, right? And they're going to collapse the economy. And they're going to make it so difficult. They don't mention aliens or anything, but they're going to make it so difficult that you're going to want to give up your rights for peace. Now, isn't it interesting that with all of these things happening, right, with the UAPs and the UFOs and the quote unquote aliens, we got World War III. Not only that, we got Syria being taken over, right? Russia betrayed Assad. Iran betrayed Assad. Iraq betrayed Assad. Hezbollah betrayed Assad. Assad, supposedly his vehicle is missing. So we got all this stuff going on. We got the World War III. We got the quote unquote aliens, the ships hovering over U.S. bases. And the word was 30 something years ago that aliens existed and they disabled some of our nuclear weapons back in the day. And we got the same story being told again, that they're hovering over military bases during the time of World War III, where there's potential for nukes to go off. I'm just saying. So now Syria is being taken over by Turkey, and Syria is going to be controlled by the West. And at the same time, we have a new president coming to power with his, supposedly, in my opinion, possible candidate for the false prophet, Elon Musk. We have all these things coming. And Trump is going to save America. He's going to save the world from destruction. I'm just saying. Behind the room, backroom deals. Russia, you can have Ukraine, but we get Syria. Okay, fine. Let us keep our bases, though, over there in the Middle East, because we're not moving from our Navy base in Syria. So when Trump get in office, what do we get? Israel extends their territory, right? Possible UFOs, aliens, I don't know. The hero come riding on a white horse, save the day from a nuclear Armageddon. And then they say peace. Trump saved us from nuclear war. They say peace. When there is no peace.
I think we are going to look back and we are going to say that the autumn of the drones was a turning point. Because I know there's a lot happening behind the scenes that I can't talk about. I think there's consistent sightings of drones over military facilities. I think I've done stories about it. You and I have talked about Langley and Eglin Air Force Base. And this has been going on now for months. The sighting of what we are told are drones over sensitive, super sensitive military facilities. It sounds like nothing at the moment, but I wager it's going to turn out to be enormous.
Which is sort of it's a way of pivoting from 2024 to 25, because this seems to be ongoing.
I think 2024 in future will be seen, ironically, as the calm before the storm. Wow. I think very early in 2025, all hell is going to break loose.
Is that not what I've been saying? I'm just saying. All hell's going to break loose. This is the agenda, because they want to move you into a new system. All at the same time now that crypto is taking off and making a ton of money for people. All at the same time that we're going into a new financial system. We got the aliens. We got World War III. We got digital wallets. We got Satanism coming out of the woodwork. Entertainers being exposed, pastors being exposed, Israelites being exposed, everything and everybody all at the same time. Look, you wouldn't even believe it if it was written in a fiction story. Y'all think that's a coincidence? Really? I don't think it's a coincidence. Something wicked is on the horizon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely a public service announcement. I have to get on here and tell y'all what's going on. Okay. I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning at Utah. In a couple of hours, I'm supposed to be going to work. Work as a security guard, right? But that's not the point. It started off around, I would say, maybe 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'm hearing what sound like a horn blast. So at first I'm thinking, okay, who's the crazy person with the car? They did it a sequence of 4 times. Bam, bam, and pause. Bam, bam. All over the place. And then it stopped, and then now it was midnight, and I keep hearing the same thing, but it's like a beep, beep, beep. I'm looking through the window, so who is doing that with their car? No, God knows me. I goes outside, and I'm traveling throughout my whole square block. I hear it on my left side, on my right side, in front of my building. Those are trumpet blasts, ladies and gentlemen. Trumpets. It sounds like an urgency of it. I had to pray to God to tell you guys you better start praying, please. And if anyone is hearing what I'm hearing, please let me know. But it's an urgency of it. Yeshua is about to return, and he's going to do it very quickly. Have a good night, or wherever you at. Good morning.
I don't know what to tell you. Let's look at this. Matthew 24:31, and he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call. She just said she heard blasts, right? And they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now, I always disregarded this as being part of the gathering, right? Or the second Exodus, and I still don't know. I always thought that this was tied to, the resurrection, but I still don't know. But if you take what we know about the scriptures concerning the regathering, right? This will tie into that theme in the Bible, right? That the Most High is going to gather us together. And here it says he's going to gather his elect from the four winds, which we were scattered to the four winds. He's going to send his angels to do the gathering. And look, I'm not saying the UFOs are angels. Maybe they're fallen angels. I don't think they're Yah's angels, but I'm just saying, I think something weird's going on here. And here's another theory. Like I said, I'm speculating. Okay? I like to do that. People want to beat me up when I want to speculate. But what if, because I told you it's a complex dialectic, what if this whole thing of angels and UFOs and aliens and all of this drama that they're building up and hovering over military bases is to build a sleight of hand like a magician, so that when the Most High sends his angels to gather us, and I'm not saying it's the case, I don't know, I'm speculating, but when the Most High sends his angels to gather us, and they're going to say, well, the angels want us to leave. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm speculating. I don't know. I'm just saying. But I'm going to show you something because, like I say, I like to just share my thoughts. I like to speculate. Usually I do this with Minister Tell, right? I say, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Oh, yeah, that's okay. I agree with it or I don't agree with it, right? I'm just saying, I'm just speculating because I don't know. But let me show you something that I find curious, right? Curiouser and curiouser. And, I be thinking all outside the box, right? Yacoba thinks outside the box.
On the mass deportation plans by President-elect Donald Trump. Now there is exclusive reporting from NBC News about a list of countries sources say are now willing to take migrants who are deported.
NBC6 politics reporter Hatzo Vela with new reaction from some countries. Hatzo.
Jawan, Jackie, the exclusive reporting says the list of countries could include places like Panama, the Turks and Caicos. Not surprising, though, Cuba is not on the list, and government officials there on the island already calling Trump's mass deportation plan unrealistic.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program.
President-elect Donald Trump plans to begin the process of deporting hundreds of thousands of people once he takes office. And one of the things likely on the target list is ending the parole programs for people from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. In the case of Cubans, as of October, more than 110,000 Cubans have been granted parole and are here in the U.S. That's a significant number of Cubans who could be in legal limbo if the parole program is eliminated by the incoming president. From Cuba, we're already getting hints as to what may happen. High-ranking Cuban officials tell us in recent migration talks with the U.S., mass deportations did not come up. But the deputy foreign minister goes on to say whatever happens has to be done within the framework of the agreements between both countries.
No es realista pensar en que vaya a haber deportaciones masivas desde Estados Unidos.
It is not realistic to think, he says, there will be mass deportations to Cuba. Immigration has always been a rocky subject between the U.S. and Cuba. In more than 6 decades of revolution, there's been several mass migrations from the island.
The regime has always seen immigration as a political weapon.
Orlando Gutierrez heads the Democratic Directorate, an organization that fights for the freedom of Cuba. He says the Cuban government, time and time again, uses mass migration to alleviate its internal problems.
It's time for that to stop. I mean, this regime cannot keep on using the U.S. and the Cuban population in order to further stay in power.
Since 2021, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement reports they have deported almost 1,000 Cubans back to the island. In 2024, they sent back the most, 477. The previous year, 2023, they sent back 371. In late 2022, it was announced the U.S. would start deporting Cubans after the government on the island agreed to take them back. NBC News now exclusively reporting,
You better start packing now.
the incoming Trump administration is already preparing a list of countries it may use to deport people. Sources tell NBC News the countries include, but may not be limited to, Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Panama, and Grenada. And we just mentioned the Bahamas as one of those countries, but the prime minister there is already quashing the idea, saying that he has rejected the proposal. The Bahamas, he says, simply just doesn't have the resources.
All right. So why did I share that dealing with UFOs and aliens? Well, Second Thessalonians 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 9 through 12. The coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie. In all the ways that wickedness deceives those who are perishing. They perish because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion so that they will believe the lie. And so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth, but have delighted in wickedness. So the arrival of the lawless one, who we call an Antichrist, will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie. Now, what we're seeing with the aliens or the UFOs, these vehicles, TR-3Bs, SUV type things, signs in the skies, wonders, would this not serve the lie of Satan, right? Because the whole thing is they're going to, look, I'm telling you, they're going to do syncretism again. And they're going to blend all these religions together and say, these are the angels. They're also the gods. They're the Zeus. They're Apollo. They're even going to try to say, it's the Most High, right? They're going to try to blend these things into saying that these are the ones who created you and put you on earth, right? And this is where they're going to bring in this whole technology thing and the chip implant and the mark of the beast and all this stuff, right? When they bring in the technology, they're going to also be bringing in my opinion, I'm speculating, they're also going to be bringing in the idea that these aliens are real. And maybe, I don't know, because I'm not the Most High, maybe they're going to show you an alien. Because one person I saw stated, I want to see an alien body. That's what they said. Show us the alien body, because they claim to have them. So if you look at what Trump is doing, right? His arrival, come on now, his arrival, I mean, I know this is second term. His arrival is with signs and wonders, right? Trump's coming to power again, and there's quote unquote supposedly alien crafts in the sky. Or some unknown drones, what they call it. Signs and wonders that serve the lie. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's they're promoting the idea of aliens, right? Because that's what they were conditioning us with over the last several months with congressional hearings about them having alien bodies and reverse engineering technology. So what that got to do with immigration? What does that have to do with immigration? Y'all do know that Trump does what he wants, right? Trump pretty much moves the way he want to move. And Trump says they won in office. I'm speculating now. And I'm gonna say this before I do this, because there's a clip I want to show you. If the channel goes down, I'm streaming over on Rumble. So if this channel goes down, I'm streaming over on Rumble, so you could go over there and see the whole thing. Hopefully I don't get hit by a strike, but it's something I have to show. So what are we expecting? We're expecting a second Exodus, right? What else we're expecting? We know that in the movie They Live, the world power elite was coming to power when? In 2025, according to the movie They Live. Now, like I said, what does this have to do with Trump? Well, Trump's arrival is with lying signs and wonders. I'm not saying he's the Antichrist. I don't know. I do think it's a possibility. I do think Elon Musk could be the false prophet. There's a good chance, but I don't know. Now, remember, let me ask y'all this, because I know I got some smart people here. What did Yacoba say gonna happen? How we gonna leave here? Because some of y'all waiting for your money. Some of y'all waiting for the Most High to come and get you. But what did I tell you you're going to have to do? Y'all know. Y'all been listening for a while. Oh, yeah, we're going to have pain. Oh, pain, yeah. Yeah, they're going to push us out. What we going to do? We're going to be forced out. What we going to do? We're going to leave. We're going to have to run for your life. That's what the Bible says. Flee from the plagues. You're going to be what? A refugee. Come on now, DJ. You're going to be a refugee. Trump said he going to do what? Kick out the migrants. Now, think of this for a second. Now, according to the 14th Amendment, we're supposed to be citizens. But the Dred Scott was never overturned when they said we weren't citizens. What if they flipped that script? Just like they took away affirmative action, right? They decide that we not, I don't know it's going to play out this, I'm speculating. They decide that they're going to kick us out. We're tired of y'all. I mean, that's a possibility, right?
You knew it was hopeless as soon as the idea was out of the bag. Didn't you?
All right, people off the bus and on the knee. Come on, folks, let's move. Get your belongings. Get up fast. Stand on. Come on, you heard it. Right, go right, get it right. You heard it. You're a family. Stay together. Let's go. Let's go. Off the bus and on the knee. Just follow along. If you can't carry it, leave it behind. Push wild, no talking. Move, go.
So as we say goodbye to our dark friends and neighbors, we say hello to a new era of American peace and prosperity. For World News Now, I'm Stryker O'Rourke.
American peace and prosperity as we say goodbye to our dark friends. Y'all the problem. You Israelites, y'all the problem. Y'all the reason for World War III. Y'all the reason that the economy's crashing. Y'all the cause of all the ills of the world. Now that was from the Cosmic Slop. I'm just saying, I'm like, hey, you know how they do with the movies, right? They tell you what they're going to do. They tell you what they're going to do. I'm just saying it could work out that way. I don't know. I told you I'm not a prophet. I'm just saying it could. It's possible. I told you I look at many things, many different avenues, different angles, a certain prophetic text, and maybe it could play out that way. I don't know. Maybe that's why we become refugees, because they kick us out. I'm just saying, y'all know they don't like us, right? But at some point, the Gentiles are going to bring us back. And so my theory is, because, it's speculation, that we flee first. We're going to be refugees. Judah going home from America. And at some point in time in the future, when everybody from around the world that's scattered to the four corners come back, that's when they come back with the wealth, with the gold and the silver. That's just my theory. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm speculating. I just think that there's an agenda. I think that we're at the cusp of them fulfilling their agenda, whatever that is. And we are the ones that this agenda is targeting. I don't know if Trump the Antichrist. I don't know if Elon Musk the false prophet, but they're on my radar. I'm watching. There's a good chance they could be. I don't know. But it's interesting to say the least. We're going to find out soon, because y'all saw the Deagle report, right? 2025. 2025 is their halfway point to 2030. I told you it was going to happen in 2030. I hope to be gone before then, one way or another, hopefully on the continent. One thing I can say is this. Something's going on. And if people tell you, don't worry about that, then you crazy, not me. Because if you look at what's happening, that they got drones or UFOs flying over your airspace and over your military bases, and you not worried about that, you're not sending F-15s after those things, you're not trying to shoot them things down, but you say they're not yours. Something's up. As the old fair says, Syria fell so quickly. Something's up. Well, Jacoba, you just a conspiracy theorist. Yes, I am. I admit it. I'm proud to be one. Because I use critical thinking skills. I'm not the type of person who believe, oh yeah, Cornelius was an Israelite, when the text clearly says he wasn't. I'm not the type of person who says Native American Indians and Mexicans are Israelites unless they're Afros, African descent. I'm not the type of person who says America's our homeland. I'm not that foolish, right? But some people are that way. They believe anything anybody feeds them. They open up their mouth and they eat from anybody's plate. I told y'all, don't eat from everybody's plate. Everybody can't cook. Everybody don't wash their hands. Some people let dogs eat from the plate that they serving you. You can't eat from everybody's plate. People tell you, don't eat that pork. It's bad for you. You're going to say, but I'm going to eat that pork. I got freedom. Yeah, but you're going to get some worms too. They don't listen. People going to do what they want to do. They're going to listen to who they want to listen to. That's why the Bible says there's few that's going to make it. Is that not scary to you? It's scary to me. I pray all the time that the Most High keep me. Keep me on the narrow way. Keep me on the narrow path. I'm holding on to Yeshua for dear life. Do you know some Israelites reject Yeshua? Do you know that? Some Israelites rejecting the Savior, the only begotten Son, the one who died for them, who paid for them with his own precious blood. Do you know some Israelites reject the Savior? But guess what? Just because you call him an idol, he ain't no idol. He's the Most High in human flesh. But you don't believe the Bible. You say you believe the Bible. You say you believe the Bible, but you reject the Savior. And guess what? He's in the Old Testament. You just don't see it. He's in the Apocrypha. You just don't see it. He's in the book of Enoch. You just don't see it. That's how foolish some people are. And they think they're going to get into the kingdom by themselves because they obey the laws, statutes, and commandments. But ain't nobody, if you don't believe in Yeshua, ain't nobody paid for your sins unless you believe in him. Because his shed blood is only applied to those who believe in him and have faith in him. So then their sins are forgiven. If you don't believe in him, guess what? You ain't going to be with him. It gets really tiresome, though. And you see your people falling for the lie. You see our people rejecting the Most High. You see our people falling into Mormonism and Druidism and all kind of foolishness. You see how people be making up names and words and stuff, right? Have no idea what the original text is. They don't even know the history. You see how people falling for all kind of stuff. And you know what? I decided, I say, you know what? I can't do nothing for you. I got problems of my own. People ain't going to listen. Pray for them, dust the feet off, go on about your business. That's what I'm learning. Because they can't hear. But one thing I got to say, and I think most of y'all, not all of y'all, but most of y'all going to have to agree with me. Something's up. Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Something's happening. Something is up. This is a major end time situation we're in. A major deception or delusion, a powerful delusion being set up. At minimum, if you don't agree with anything I said today, at minimum, you have to agree that something's wrong. There's an agenda. They're pushing a message. They're pushing a belief system. And the only ones that's not going to fall for it is the Most High people, the Most High's people. That's it. Those who trust in the Most High, they're the only ones that, and when I say the Most High, I mean not only Yahuwah, but Yeshua. I bet y'all think we're going back to Africa now, don't you? Because guess what? Ain't nobody else going to want you. Especially if it's going to play out like I think it's going to play. But I don't know. Like I say, I'm speculating. Oh, yeah, Christianity has failed, Brother Asaph. It has. Christianity has been infiltrated. Islam has been infiltrated. Buddhism has been infiltrated. Hinduism has been infiltrated. Seventh-day Adventists have been infiltrated. Every religion has been infiltrated by Freemasonry. Everything. Israelites have been infiltrated. Camps have been infiltrated. That's why you got to be careful. I see these things and I be like, don't y'all see that? Don't you know he lying? Don't you know he telling half-truths? Oh, but he's so nice. He dressed so nice. His hair's cut and trimmed. His beard is trimmed. Oh, he speaks sweet words. Oh, I like him. But you don't validate what he said against the scripture. Oh, great teaching, pastor. Great teaching, Moray. And I ain't saying I got all the answers. Don't get it twisted. I do the best I can. But y'all don't be checking people. But like I said, that ain't my business. I dust off my feet. Because guess what? You know how you going to get in? You got to decide who you going to follow. Yeshua or man? You got to decide if you're going to read that word and study it for yourself. You got to decide whether or not you're going to spend time and ask the Holy Spirit to reveal truths to you. You got to decide whether or not you're going to eat a lollipop or not. I warned y'all. Y'all remember. I warned y'all not to eat the lollipop, but some of y'all ate the lollipop because you ain't listened to me, and a lot of y'all ain't going to listen this time. There's a big deception here. And some of y'all going to fall for it. And some of y'all going to think we're going to reach a higher consciousness. Oh, yeah, some of you Israelites, too. Some of y'all thinking we reaching the age of Aquarius and that we reaching our higher self and that we got the third eye. Some of y'all Israelites think we got third eyes. I can't help you. I didn't give you the truth. I didn't give you the word. I didn't give you the scriptures, but y'all like to speculate and y'all like to go outside the boundaries. What boundaries, Jacoba? The word, the scriptures, them laws, statutes, and commandments you say you believe. Y'all like to go outside the boundaries. I don't go outside the boundaries. Y'all like to speculate. Oh, well, you know, Cornelius was an Israelite because when the Bible clearly says he wasn't. He was of the Italian band. But y'all got to make up stuff to fit your agenda and your doctrine. I can't do nothing for you, man. I got problems of my own. You know I'm old school, right? You young folks probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Well, fam, that's all I got. So just to let y'all know, even though the dry bones still exist, I'm not going to have the outro no more because they've been hitting me with copyrights. Even though I own this, you know, the license, perpetual, don't make no sense. But I ain't playing that game. I'll get another outro. I mean, I have that temporary outro. So y'all won't be hearing that no more because I'm not playing it no more. Because they keep hitting me with a copyright. I'm like, I own a license. Why you keep hitting me with a copyright? Well, that ain't my problem. You got to work it out with them. Okay, whatever. Forget it. So, fam, if you like this message, go ahead and give me a like, share, subscribe. Also, you can support this ministry by Cash App, $TOTW 7101. $TOTW 7101. Also, you could give PayPal. You could give Ko-fi. There's different ways now. You could go to tailministries.com, click on the donations tab if you don't know how to. One of those should work for you. And thank y'all who do support this ministry. Like I say, I do appreciate it and love y'all for it. I'm expecting things, family. I am. I'm expecting things. I don't know how this is going to play out. Because the Bible says those who escape the sword, we're going out. We're going back home. I'm just saying what I'm seeing right now. It don't look like we got much time. It don't look like we got much time. That's it. Like I said, it's my opinion. We'll see. So if you haven't given me a like, fam, some of y'all don't like to give a like. Y'all be listening all the time, but you don't want to give me a like. The least you could do is give me a like. At least. That's the least you could do is give me a like. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of the Messiah. And guess what? Like I said, short outro. The old outro's gone. I got to get a new one made. Peace out.